Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something truly special, a heartwarming concept that takes the everyday reality of a support worker and, well, turns it into a full-blown superhero adventure. Imagine for a second that the person helping you navigate your daily life wasn't just doing a job, but was actually a helpful android programmed for one very specific, highly important mission: to make everyday life an adventure. Through the lens of this incredibly clever YouTube script concept, we're going to look closely at the invisible, essential work of caregiving. We're going to uncover the profound kindness that makes it all possible. Because this isn't just about getting chores done, you know? It's about fundamentally changing how we perceive and experience care.
Just consider this fantastic opening line. Hello, Phil. I am Android Unit CS01. Mission: make today amazing. That is the opening hook from the script concept we're analyzing today. In it, a real-life support worker named Chris takes on the persona of Captain Smiley for his client Phil. If we playfully lean into that robotic voice for a moment, we can immediately see how Chris turns an ordinary morning into something totally extraordinary. By adopting this mission-driven character, Chris completely shifts the dynamic, right? It captivates both Phil and, honestly, anyone who might be listening in. It sets a tone of pure joy right from the jump, framing the entire day not as a list of tasks, but as an exciting opportunity.
Okay, let's dive into this. Captain Smiley's core programming protocol is mapped out as a highly structured series of steps. We start with step 1, tidy flat, then we move into step 2, beat anxiety, proceed to step 3, shopping, and finally culminate in step 4, fun. What this beautifully shows us is how standard everyday tasks are reframed as vital, high-stakes missions. It gives a clear, logical structure to the day, making routine care work feel incredibly engaging and purposeful, rather than just some mundane checklist you have to get through. I mean, it's an absolute masterclass in making the necessary feel extraordinary. So, how does this programming actually play out in real time? Well, in our first mission on the agenda, Chris scans the room. You can almost imagine the sci-fi sound effects and those imaginary blue lights sweeping across the living room floor as he announces, "Mess detected, activating super tidy mode." Suddenly, routine household chores like washing the dishes, making the bed, or putting clothes away, they aren't just tedious tasks anymore. Through this creative role play, they become a fast-paced, laughter-filled game between the two of them. It instantly infuses energy into spaces and routines that might otherwise feel completely stagnant. Let's see how this builds into something even deeper. When Phil compliments how fast he is, the android delivers this brilliant line: "My happiness processor works best in a tidy environment." While it's delivered in that fun robotic character, it actually highlights a deeply profound truth about support work. A clean, organized environment practically benefits a person's mental well-being and their independence. So it's not just about doing chores for the sake of checking a box. It's about optimizing the happiness processor of the person being supported, setting them up for a successful, mentally clear day. It's just brilliant.
And this brilliantly illustrates the incredible duality of this entire concept. When Phil begins to look worried, we see the robotic facade peel back just a bit to reveal the true core of the work. We can see the initial android response, anxiety levels detected. But compare that to the actual human impact of his next words. Let's slow down. One step at a time. You're not doing this alone. This comparison reveals the deep, genuine human empathy required when navigating someone else's mental health. The android character might objectively detect the anxiety, but it's the deeply caring human being underneath who actually steps in to actively and warmly soothe it.
To complete this specific mission of beating anxiety, Chris doesn't just offer words, though. He takes deliberate, grounding actions. They physically change their environment by taking a walk together along the promenade. And Chris offers steady reassurance throughout the entire process. The ultimate goal, as noted by Phil, is for them to feel calmer together. This shows us that support work is just as much about emotional grounding, pacing, and psychological safety as it is about completing physical tasks around the house. It's co-regulation in its absolutely purest form. Now, with anxiety levels lowered, it's time to bring back that light-hearted energy for the next protocol. The android checks an imaginary interface and declares, "Shopping list uploaded." What follows is this wonderful grocery shopping adventure. They collect their groceries, share jokes in the aisles, and give each other constant, encouraging thumbs-ups. And when the cart is full, you get a highly satisfying "mission complete, all items acquired." It turns a public errand, which, let's face it, can often be stressful, overstimulating, or overwhelming, into a shared triumph and a genuinely fun outing. After a highly productive morning, they head out to the pier for a fun day out in the sunshine. And I absolutely love this next data point 100. According to Captain Smiley's internal diagnostics, while they're admiring the sea,
Friendship levels are at exactly 100%, and smiles generated are at maximum capacity. Even though Chris is playing the role of an android, he proves that he loves having fun just as much as his client does. It's a beautiful metric of a successful day and a real testament to how fulfilling this work can be for everyone involved. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the core question it poses. What is really powering Captain Smiley? If we strip away the imaginary blue scanning lights, the uploaded shopping lists, and that robotic voice, what is the actual fuel for this entire operation? This question pivots our narrative out of the sci-fi comedy premise and squarely into our core focus for this explainer. The engine driving all of these actions, the chores, the emotional support, the errands, the fun, it's simply real, dedicated human kindness. It is an active, chosen kindness.
That crucial point is summarized perfectly in Chris's final mission statement out on the pier. My mission is simple: help people, spread kindness, and make every day brighter. That right there is the true prime directive of his programming. It proves that the supposed android code is actually just pure, unadulterated human compassion. He isn't programmed by a computer. He's driven by a massive heart and a genuine desire to improve Phil's quality of life. Honestly, it's the entire ethos of caregiving distilled into a single, beautiful sentence. The original script ends with a lovely tribute text, serving as the ultimate definition of what a support worker really is. A support worker, someone who helps people live independent, happy lives. This definition emphasizes to us exactly why this invisible, essential work matters so profoundly to our society. They're the scaffolding that allows vulnerable people not just to get by, but to truly thrive, to find independence and experience genuine happiness in their daily lives. They bridge that massive gap between just surviving and truly living. The adventure wraps up with a touching final scene on the pier. Phil and Chris look at each other and give a mutual, enthusiastic thumbs up, saying together, "Captain Smiley to the rescue." It's a wonderful visualization of a bond that goes far, far beyond a typical job description or a standard employee-client dynamic. It's a true partnership, one built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared sense of joy in navigating life together. It proves that care can be, and really should be, deeply joyful. Which brings us to our final thought to close out this explainer. Who are the Captain Smileys operating in your own community today? I want to challenge you to look around and recognize the profound kindness of the support workers who are often hidden in plain sight all around us. They might not wear superhero capes, they might not have robotic alter egos, but they are absolutely performing daily missions of empathy, making the world brighter, one person at a time. So take a moment today to appreciate the immense kindness powering their work.